Welcome back to Chaos Corner. It's your old buddy, the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy, and I tell it like it is. I'll say that to say this. Live to tape, same day coverage, show number 20. Now, fans, I know, I was just here yesterday for show number 19. We had a great time. We went a little over an hour. I had to come back for a second day for show number 20 to go over all the memorabilia and different things we talked about in regards to the career of yours truly, the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy. I can't thank you enough for being here. You know that I'm on Twitter right now. Go to the profile link at Big Daddy G.O.C. And the G.O.C. stands for the Guardian of Chaos. Hit the link. That will bounce you over to here on YouTube. You could be in two places at the same time, kind of like the G.O.C. And again, I'll say it every show. Follow my boys over at the show, and that's at Mario_Chaos. They're there to put you over. And I don't understand it if you're not using it to expand your brand. Expand your brand. Say that 3 times fast. To put your promos out there, to put your work, to promote yourself. Content creators, creativity, writers. That's what it's all about. That's why they're there, and that's why they help me so much. So again, fans, a lot of things going on. Listen, the COVID vaccine over in the UK has been given to the first person in the world, a 90-year-old lady. So let's see what happens with the world, where we're trending. I don't know what to believe anymore with the mainstream media, and that's why I'm an independent thinker, and I go with my own thoughts and beliefs and morals and convictions. And then they're talking about, to be a little political here on show 20, before we get to the memorabilia, they're talking about giving it to other countries before the United States of America. This is what half of America wanted. You're going to get what you wanted. This is what you wanted when you voted, right? Be careful what you ask for. And then let's talk about the Staten Island bar owner, a true patriot, and what he's going through. So we'll talk about that. We're going over to YouTube. Don't you dare miss it. Fans, welcome back to show number 20, Spur of the Moment. We were just on Twitter. We're here on the Guardian of Chaos channel. We were talking a little bit of politics, COVID vaccine. The first trial run has been administered in the UK. They're talking about all the different things that the vaccine won't be here in the United States until the spring of 2021. They're going to give it to other countries first. I'm not sure where I stand on all that. I really don't care. I don't even know if I would take the vaccine. Probably not. Let me lower the acoustics here on Chaos Corner. But there's just a lot of politics involved, and we don't know what to believe. I'm not going to make this show about that. And then again, before we came over here on YouTube, talking about what's happening in Staten Island and with the bar owner there at the pub. And, you know, you didn't arrest anybody during the riots and the looting and all the social justice BS that's going on in this country with BLM and Antifa and all that, but you went to a bar owner and arrested him 2 or 3 times and fined him thousands of dollars, when right down the street you can get a burger and a beer, but you couldn't get it where this guy was. If that's not politics, one was a red zone, one was an orange zone, a yellow zone. Who knows what they're talking about? But half of the district in Staten Island went Biden, the other half went Trump. You wonder if that has anything to do with it. I'm no conspiracy theorist. I want to talk about things that are entertaining and enjoying, and the things that I love to bring to you people. But if you're not awake in this country, and I don't mean woke, okay, with all those half sissies over there, be your own person. I'm not making this political. I agree and disagree with people all the time, right, left, down the middle. We need a third-party candidate, that's for sure. You can say whatever you want about President Trump, but the one thing he did do, and I'll be forever grateful for this, he didn't do a lot of things he said. He acted like an asshole a lot of times. He's not necessarily a guy for me, but at least for half the country he was. And he did expose the media, the mainstream media, and the fraudulent government that's running this country, and all the politicians who are protected in their big gates of private security, and the entertainers and the blue check marks. I said it on show number 19. They're not affected by any of this like we are, the common man. That's right. I'll bring it back to pro wrestling, the American dream, Dusty Rhodes, a man ahead of his time, the common man. That's what we are. So instead of us arguing amongst ourselves with race and politics and religion, use your fucking heads and let's all band together on what's really trying to happen here with globalization and socialism and words that you guys may not even comprehend, the regular fans that are haters on here. And I know you're all watching, but we're 5 minutes in. Live to tape, same day coverage. I had to come back and do it 2 days in a row. We're on a roll, 20 episodes already. We're going to go through the memorabilia. We'll keep it under an hour. It's Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. And don't forget tonight, Impact on Access, Kenny Omega, Don Callis. Who knows what's going to happen in the big rub that's going to happen there tonight. And then, of course, AEW Dark on YouTube leading into tomorrow night with Dynamite and NXT. There's a lot going on in the pro wrestling world, so let me get off my soapbox. Okay, we're 5-6 minutes in here. Show number 20, same day coverage, live to tape. Let's get off that soapbox. I'm going to put this whole thing aside here right now and get back to what I really wanted to talk about. How apropos. Let's give him something to talk about. Speaking of that, I got a message in my email, and you can email me at any time, and that's Chaos Big Daddy, the number 2, at yahoo.com, or of course inbox me on all the social media platforms. On Twitter, hit the boys up at the show. You can DM me. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Parler, I'm on Gab, I'm on Rumble, of course YouTube and Twitter. So get in touch with me. But the thing I wanted to talk about is I got flagged by YouTube from countries in Egypt, Iran, and North Korea. So I put up my video yesterday. Go back and check it out, show number 19 of Chaos Corner. And that late last night, I got an email from YouTube saying that, you know, they're not taking it down. They didn't violate anything. It's going to be seen to the public. But in certain countries, and again, Iran, North Korea, I believe it was Syria, and one other country. So I don't know what's going on with censorship, the whole political platform. That's why I'm no longer on Facebook. That's why I've gotten off other social media platforms. You see, I'm not as active on Twitter. You know, I'm enjoying the YouTube, but if we're going to go continue with the censorship and how that in those 4 countries, Chaos Corner can't be seen. So there's something going on. Pay attention, fans out there. Give me the feedback. Leave a comment in the section. And if you're going to leave something stupid, you know, smash that like button. Subscribe. Put it out there on social media. I greatly appreciate it. But there's a few questionable things going on out there. So stay off my page with politics, BS, social justice, all that stuff, pornography. Stay the fuck off my channel. Change it if you don't like it. Sorry for the cursing. I'm getting a little crazy. I want to give my shout-outs and well wishes, and I'm thinking of you because he's being inducted into the National Broadcasting and Producers and Television Hall of Fame, and that would be the president of the Yes Network, Mr. John J. Filippelli. Flip, I'm thinking about you, brother. Congratulations. It's right around the corner. 50 years in the business, everything from the WWE as an executive in the 80s to helping out with Saturday night's main event, the original for the World Wrestling Federation, working with Dick Ebersol, Bob Costas, NBC Sports, the World Series, the Yes Network, Center Stage, Yankeeography, everything that you could think of from the Olympics to the Indy car races, all aspects, the World Series, the Super Bowl. John J. Filippelli is the man. So I just want to give shouts and thoughts out to Flip because he's going into the Hall of Fame. And thank you for all your mentorship and your advice along the way. So fans, show number 20, Chaos Corner. We've only been doing this for a couple of months, so we see we're pumping out the content. And again, to get off all the previous 9 minutes of this, thanks to everyone who's here and checks out the channel. I greatly appreciate it, and I follow you guys. I love your stuff and your work. Keep creating with the positivity and doing what you're doing because it shows. I like it. Coming up on 10 minutes, now the fun starts of my 30-year illustrious 40 years, if you go from connections to current day, from 1983 all the way to 2020, going into 2021. So yesterday, on show number 19, for after the first 15-minute monologue, and this one's a 10-minute opening monologue, we went on to memorabilia and stuff for some of the fans and people that were here yesterday are not here today. We had almost 10 people here yesterday. So today we have a handful, so we'll be good there. We got tacos cooking upstairs in Chaos headquarters. So we're having a lot of fun. We got some family here too. And I'm not worried about the social distancing and the mask because everybody's required to do what they're doing. And you're in my house, Chaos Corner. So you do what I tell you to do. You got to love it. A little throwback here, although I don't watch the NFL anymore. I don't really watch any sports anymore. I watch professional wrestling. That's what I watch. And I mainly listen to podcasters and YouTube. I love YouTube. I got to tell you, for the videos, for as much as there's censorship, I love YouTube. Did you hear that? I love YouTube. Let's go back to the memorabilia and the things that have been sent into me and that I found down here in Chaos Corner. Don't forget, we have Chaos headquarters. We have the office here at World headquarters. We have the podcast studio. And again, we have a different view. And we're still upgrading, but we like to keep it like this, raw, unique, unedited, keep the overhead low. We're not making any money because we're having fun. It's not always about that. So here we go, a continuation from yesterday, show number 19. We are now on show number 20. Big shout out to my boy, Mr. Hempel-Stilskin, and my one sponsor, SweetHeal.com. If I go a day without using CBD products, I don't know where I would be as a man in his 50s, a retired, semi-retired athlete that competed in everything you can ever imagine. Not to mention 25 years behind the walls and keeping the communities and the counties and the states safe around the United States of America. Yes, fans, that is what I did for many years. But if I go a day without using Sweet Heal, whether it be the tinctures, the lotions, the balms, now I have the wife using the shampoo and the conditioner. They have stuff for your dogs during the holidays when there's fireworks going off on 4th of July, and just to keep everything calm and cerebral, legally licensed to support local entrepreneurs, Constitution State, locally owned, locally grown, and again, legally licensed. SweetHeal.com. My buddy, Mr. Hempel-Stilskin, you won't find anything like it as far as the product. There's a lot of competition out there. See how now we're 12 minutes in and I still haven't gotten onto the map. This is what happens here at Chaos Corner. Shout out to everybody that's here. We're live to tape. It would be very easy for me to get the high-powered laptop down here and different things and the studio cameras and go live for chat. But it's coming. 2021, and just because the year changes the numbers doesn't mean anything's going to change social-wise. Keep an eye out for what's going to happen with social justice, fans. Stick up for who you are. Stick up for who you believe you are, meaning inside your morals, convictions, your family, how you were raised. Identify with who you are. Appreciate and love everybody and respect everybody from all cultures, religions, races, whatever you want to talk about, skin colors, which I don't even understand why we break it down to that. Because if you want to be Latin American and you want to be African American, then we should keep it at Polish American, Irish American, Italian American, whatever you come here as, whatever your cultural and country background is attached to American. It doesn't work that you're black, you're brown, you're white. It's all bullshit. And that's why we have the problems in this country that we do. And you want to push skin color and you want to push affirmative action and you want to push equality. Well, the reality is you get equality in life by treating people the way you want to be treated in hard work. Everybody that's here and that's fighting against this country, and I'm back on my soapbox and didn't get onto it, from the inside out, are all people, all of us, that have come from other countries and other places and origins and ancestry and descent and have come here. And you've done the best you could have ever done here because you couldn't have done it in your own homeland or you'll still be there. That's why everybody's trying to come here. And then you come here and then try to destroy the country from within. The same a dream that you lived upon, now you're trying to take away and destroy. It's all very hypocritical. The politicians, the mainstream media, it's all hypocrites. So remember that it was exposed by the one guy that a lot of you people say you hate most. And I get more heat out of anything in life than because of President Trump. And I don't understand why. Again, I'm done with this. We'll keep it as a separate podcast. Leave your thoughts and we'll talk about it. Let's get on to what you guys are here about. History, memorabilia, collectibles, all different kinds of stuff, and the world of pro wrestling. And your boy, the Guardian of Chaos. And I'll say that to say this, because I tell it like it is. Here we go in full regalia. We are on the memorabilia. 15 minutes in. Show number 20, baby. Check it out. And again, I'm going to try to put these up to the camera. Hope you guys can see them. I hope you're enjoying all this, because I know I am. There's the Guardian of Chaos on his way to the ring. You see the Oakleys that I'm wearing now. $350 back in the middle 90s to get these. The pink boa, the Big Daddy gear. Again, all different gimmicks and characters that I've used, and I threw them all together as one. From Jesse Ventura to Captain Lou Albano to Don Morocco to Freddie Blassie to the Valiant Brothers, and made them all into one character. Another beautiful picture, and I thank the fans for printing these out, getting to me, sending them to me. I believe this is with Matt Sydal. I'm not sure. Again, ringside, the G.O.C. choking them out over the bottom rope. Nobody, except back to the days of your Freddie Blassies, your Bobby Heenans, your Captain Lou Albanos, even your Bill Alfonsos, did what the G.O.C. did. Not even Jimmy Hart. I'll put Cornette and Dylan in there, and of course the legendary Gary Hart. All people I've consulted with on this took the bumps and did the things that the Guardian of Chaos did from the early 90s into the 21st century, and it was phased out. And this is the reasons why I do what I do now, and you see who I molded my character after. And in the middle 90s is when they phased it all out, but those were my mentors, crossed in with some of the guys that I loved, like Morocco and Ventura and the Valiants and different guys like that I molded, and even a tribute to the Road Warriors in the 90s. The Guardian of Chaos, and traditional old school. Here's the photo. I believe that's Matt Sydal, currently now in Impact or AEW. Another excellent photo. Thank you, fans, for bringing that in. The G.O.C. always at ringside causing havoc. Here's one that the wife got on her account. She wasn't crazy about it, but I was 325 pounds. Not my most flattering picture, as you can see, if we put them side by side. Now I'm about 220, 225 after the quarantine 15. So some incredible photos. These photos are mixed in from as far back as the early 90s to as recently as 10 years ago. Like I said, I officially retired in 2008 for like the 5th time, but came back and made a live in-ring appearance, as we know. Great photos. Different candidates. I hope you guys appreciate it. I never really do a show about my character, but it's my channel. It's my show. The G.O.C. yelling at somebody at ringside, wearing the Big Daddy gear, even the pants, the bottoms, some good stuff. You could see I was much heavier back then. Always going at it with the crowd. Unbelievable. Somebody did a good job printing these out. This was from WrestleFest. That might have been 2006. Here's another one of my infamous moments. You're going to enjoy this picture. This, I believe, was in 06. Right around this time, this could be actually almost to the day in December of 06. NWA Tag Team Champions. Again, Bully, I hope you're watching. And again, thoughts and prayers to Devon. Quick recovery. I'm sure he'll be fine. His kids, I said it yesterday. The Dudley Boys are as TNT, are in AEW. They'll probably be on AEW Dark tonight. Check out this picture. We had a nice run together. We made some money. I made some good money with these guys. They made money. I know that. Bully Ray and Devon. Now, there it is. Devon mid-air from the top rope. You can see that Bully is holding me by the heels of my boots. Okay, pants up, the Big Daddy gear. I'm holding the groin. You know, I still find it there at 330 pounds. Trust me, I can still find it. Look at the size. What a photo that is. Fans, if you're not snapping this right now for your page or to say, look at the Guardian of Chaos, Devon Dudley. The glasses are off because you know where they are? On the top of Devon's head. What a photo, fans. Again, not one of my finer moments, but And you know what? He got me good. I rolled around like a flounder. I got to tell you, fans. It's all on video. It's all on YouTube. It's all on Twitter. I'm sure it's on the network that sells these different groups. I worked for 2 different groups, NWA and Northeast with the Dudleys. Here's the end result of that. Not one of my finer moments here on show number 20. Yeah. Not one of my finer moments. The G.O.C. I got to tell you, you can't make it up, fans. That was as the result of that. Again, I appreciate everyone getting these to me. And what I find down here is unbelievable. Again, always on the mic. I'm never at a loss for words. You fans know that. Promo 101, a lot of these different wrestling schools around here. There's Team 3D in Danbury, Roma, Mancini, the Paradise 4 down at Paradise Alley. There's a lot of schools up in Massachusetts, Chaotic, Slick Wagner Browns here in the Constitution State with Test of Strength. Kevin Kelly runs his Shut Up and Wrestle. There's so many groups. There's House of Glory with Master P. It used to be the Amazing Red in New York City. There's a lot of groups, a lot of things going on. And, of course, the NAWA, Tony Capone out of Mount Vernon, but they're running in Florida. That's another show for another time. We will get on to that, like a dark side, happy side of the ring, but there's a lot of history that I could bring, and I'll bring to people's attention. You'll be surprised at who I've been around and associated with. A lot of people like to question, just like this picture, always on the microphone, just like here at Chaos Corner, show number 20 live to tape, 20 minutes in. Come on, cut me some slack. This is what you get. The Guardian of Chaos. Up close and personal. Oh, I found the legs from the Big Daddy doll over here. All right, here we go. Again, what the Big Daddy Company did out of Malvern, Pennsylvania. It looks like a Dallas Cowboys jersey. I still have that one upstairs. I've worn it on the shows before. You'll see me wear a lot of the throwback gear. They really hooked me up with the matching sweats. I mean, the Guardian of Chaos and the Big Daddy Clothing Company. I'll never forget what they did for me. Always on the mic. What a handsome guy. Again, held that 3 1/4 for quite some time. Full regalia with the executioners here. Very colorful photo. I hope it's coming over. A colorful day here on Chaos Corner. It's cold outside, baby, with the wind chill. It's about 15, 20 degrees. I feel like I'm watching Hannibal TV up there in Canada, who I'm a big fan of. I enjoy his work. It's almost just as bad. We're not that far away, Hannibal. In all his glory, you could see with the Big Daddy Clothing Company, the Oakleys, loaded up with the ink. Pehaoi Melihini Kane, Mahalo, Pupule, Wiki Wiki. The Big Daddy pants, very good stuff, high quality. I was wearing 4X, 5X back then. Thank God I'm only in a double X right now. For as big as I was, it wasn't jiggly, fat, sloppy. I was solid as a rock without Blue Chew or Viagra. I can't thank the fans enough for getting this stuff to me. Here's another excellent picture with 2 guys that went on to powerlifting and certain different events. 2 guys in Diablo Santiago and Oman Tortuga, who I worked with in a couple different territories, that were in tremendous shape, and they fought everybody in every tag team division. They were no one to be trifled with. We went to war with the Hall of Famers, with perhaps the best tag team of all time in Bubba Ray and Devon, and don't ever forget that. This is where I led my men to championships, to gold, to main events, 80% of my bouts. Take that to the bank. Beautiful photo. That is Oman Tortuga with shirtless, with all the ink, in great shape. A young Oman Tortuga. As you can see, standing about 6'3", maybe 6'4", Tortuga. Diablo was about 6'2", both in great shape. The OCK, the tribal tattoos there with Oman. What a great team. They were one of my favorite tag teams. We held many titles. The OCK and the G.O.C. Beautiful photos. Thank you. Again, always getting into it at ringside. Always yelling at someone, taking my sweat, throwing it off of people. Heel 101. I think I was face twice in my career. One time with the legendary Samoan Dynasty, Rikishi and Umaga in a 6-man tag. Well documented. We talk about it all the time. Against the Haas Boys and Kurt Adonis. The second time, I got to remember, or have to remember, there was only 2 times. Again, with the feathers, thank you, Jesse Ventura. That was one of my creations from his character. In the ring, the legendary Big Daddy hockey jerseys, they were incredible. The Oakleys. This was the gimmick. This was night in, night out. I didn't travel 200 or 300 times a year. It was maybe 100 nights out of the year. As an independent contractor, you know, I was behind the walls and bounty hunter and everything else. That was my career. That's what's made me be able to be at the point that I'm at now. We'll get past some of these pictures. You don't want to see pictures with just me and my big mouth. Nobody wants to see that. Here's myself and Diablo Santiago in the ring, cutting our usual promos. I usually on my shows that I was booked on, the promoters were smart, old school back then. I always had a stable with me, traveled with my goon squad. So I was usually involved in an in-ring promo or a behind-the-scenes promo during the shows. I would come out and do usually almost always an in-ring promo. There were always scouts there. So count that, and then would come out twice with different stables, whether it be a tag team or singles competition. It's usually some sort of a gimmick match, whether it be bull rope, strap match, hardcore matches. The one thing Chaos never did was get inside the steel cage for his own family, his own tutelage. I have not done that, the steel cage. Again, great photos. Brings back a lot of memories here of the Guardian of Chaos. On his coming down the aisle, always sold out crowds. And the independents, especially not so much in the early 90s and middle 90s, but man, from the middle 90s into the middle 2000s, that 10, 12, 15-year run, it was sold-out crowds for independents, never under 500 people, and in a lot of the crowds, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, as much as 5,000, and then out in the Midwest and West, in Indiana, Chicago, Arizona, Vegas, you know, crowds of 5,000, 10,000, even as up to 35,000 at the AWA Superclass 3D. But again, reminds me of the Heroes of Wrestling pay-per-view, or maybe what will happen at Jingle Brawls as far as for the NAWA, as far as live attendance. Not always the crowds you think you're going to get. Another night I'm not too happy about. This was, again, he's wearing the Oakleys, different angles, the Dudley Boys, Bully Ray, Bubba, Team 3D, the Dudley Boys, whatever you want to call them. Not one of my finer moments. There's the G.O.C. on the bottom. Again, holding the groin, the Big Daddy pants in full regalia. You could see that Bully has got me. He's got my damn Oakleys on again. A great photo. Fans, if you're not snapping these photos, I'm not quite sure what you're doing, because these are rare classics from the Chronicles of Chaos Corner. Rare classics that fans have found that I haven't seen in 20 or 30 years. So, unbelievable. That's all I can say. That's why I use Sweet Heel CBD. Now you know why. More photos. Former WWE star. He has his own school right now. Did help me a lot with training back in the day as well. Crippler, bad attitude. Kevin Kelly, Kevin Landry, if you will. Here we are. I'm not sure what organization. Leaving the ring. And then underneath it in a jam, sold out capacity, with the Mercenaries out of Maryland Championship Wrestling, Corporal Punishment and the guys, Sergeant, I forget the Sergeant's last name, against Umaga and Rikishi at Silk City Slam. I believe we were in Patterson, New Jersey that night, but I'll show you these photos. Again, thank you, fans. Myself and the Crippler. He was on WWE Superstars, the show Jacked. He has his school here in the Northeast. Crippler Kevin Landry. The G.O.C., always with bad intentions. Another part of my goon squad. Kevin were against each other and in the ring as teammates before. Daddy and the Crippler. Here's another infamous photo. Fans, if you're not taking this, I don't know what you're doing. Look at how old this is, back to when it was web TV and Zoom and MySpace. That's right. There he is from Too Cool, the Samoan Dynasty. Rikishi, my boy Junior. Again, we were foes, then friends, and now family. That's my bald head on the bottom. He just from the top rope. Rikishi, not a good time. If you're not looking at that, snapping that photo, I don't know what you're doing here. Mahalo, maybe? I don't know. It's show number 20, Chaos Corner. We have a lot of different things here. Different newsletters on here. You can see Felicity Flowers, the Power Company with the Guardian of Chaos, Lips Lipinski, all the different stars from Sledge to Purdy Curdy, Brutal Bob Evans, Nick Richards from the WWE, Mad Dog Mike Bell, also from the WWF at one time. God rest his soul, Mike Bell. Unbelievable. The Puerto Rican Nightmares, Camp Casanova, Kenny Casanova, the legendary journalist right now, famous for a lot of books. Vader, Sabu, and I hear he's working with Just Incredible. Kenny Casanova, my good friend, very talented guy, and man, could he sing karaoke. It's one of the groups, the independent groups back in the day in the newsletters. Again, Champions with the Belt, the Guardian of Chaos, the Power Company. A lot of great stuff back then. I still can't believe that people have this. ECW star Tony DeVito, Crippler with Big Daddy. Here's some other unbelievable shows. My old buddy, the quintessential stud muffin. We went back and forth a lot. I got to tell you, Joel Gertner. I love Joel Gertner. Here's another show that we did. Everybody from Just Incredible to the Hardcore Hippie, the Power Company, Kevin Kelly, the Ironclads, and Joel Gertner. I'll throw it up there for you. There I am with the Power Company from WCW. They were on Thunder on TBS Saturday nights. There's my buddy. And if you're not subscribed to his YouTube cooking channel, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Joel Gertner. We went at it many, many times, especially in our war. Gertner with Jason fucking Knight against myself. And yeah, 187 Homicide. Yeah. Again, some great shows, different companies and promotions that I worked for. I told you, over 50 of them. There's so many. Here's another great night. The return of the Native American Tatanka. Yokozuna, again, from WWF, Metal and Jacked. My boy Kevin Landry, the Power Company from WCW. Another group here that we worked for. This is 20 years ago. My old buddy, the two-time former champion, who, again, we were foes, then friends, and then family, God rest his soul, and that would be the late, great Yokozuna. Ultimate Us is down, Umaga, Yoko, the whole family. It's just unbelievable. There's Yoko and Tatanka. It really was something. Tatanka's a great guy, still very active. Yoko at that point was almost 600 pounds, and we made a lot of money together. I will say that. Also, again, there he is, Kevin Kelly. Metal, Jacked, Bad Attitude, Kevin Landry, the Crippler, if you will. Myself and the Power Company. Great times, good stuff, man. Stars. Hotbeds. Here's another excellent promotion. This might have been NWA territory or Independent Superstars. The Patriot, Big Vito, Chris Candido, and Tammy Lynn, a.k.a. Sonny. Big Slam Vader, 911, Big Slam Vader. I already said that. Axel Rotten, Howard Stern's Elephant Boy and Elephant Man. Dave Mysterio, Pat Tanaka from Bad Company, who I worked with that night, and as well as Public Enemy. The Jackmaster, my boy, John Diamond. My whole stable was there that night. Of course, myself. Is that yourself? No, it's myself. Winter Wars. This was taped for TV, I believe. I can't believe people still have this stuff. I got to tell you. Here we go. Winter Wars, Pro Wrestling, Big Vito, Candido, Axel Rotten, Slam, 911, Dave Mysterio, a lot of Howard Stern guys, John Diamond, Pat Tanaka. You can see there's a name on there. Next to the guy that's in a hammerlock. Oh, Big Daddy, I'm on there somewhere. Just unbelievable. Getting to work with these guys, and I said it on show number 19, being able to tap into these guys and to be able to talk to them and learn the business and the ring psychology from where they've been to where you are, and all these different locker rooms and groups and promotions and promoters from all over the country. I mean, it's just an experience that I can never forget. And this is why I continue to do this, and how fortunate and blessed I am to have these stars and these performers and talent agree to work with me. And then I said it all the time in the bars, the restaurants, the gyms, the beach, wherever it is, as I do my ab shot. You see I'm getting in shape. You see it, right? All these different things, and this is how you learn the business, and this is what I think has changed about today, because a lot of these guys I show pictures and promos of, they're not even alive anymore. So unbelievable stuff that we have here. Here was another great show where I got to work with Samu and L.A. Smooth, the head shrinkers, and they, of course, they play for what it's worth. The Rock's Cousins against the Moondogs 2000, which was with Tommy Too Cutie and Miss Kara. For the light heavyweight belt, it was Highlight Billy Real against Mr. Motion, Harley Lewis and the Hungarian Barbarian, one bad motherfucker, Tiger Mulligan and Flash Wheeler. I managed both those gentlemen before a Flash along with Sledge. That's right, the badass Sledge against the Bushwhackers, Luke and Butch. What a great match that was to be against. They were the Bushwhackers, but I look at them as the sheep herders. Mr. Italy, Gino Caruso was on here. The Maniac, Glenn Osborne. I did a lot of work for Gino, too. He also at ECPW, whether it be down there in Jersey at Lake Hiawatha or down at Mike Sharp's school. Just learning from these guys and attending those schools back in those early 90s and learning from all these guys and then working all these different shows. That's what I talk about. Who have you been trained by, Chaos? Or who do you train by? I've said in the past, Mario Mancini. Well, that's not the case, Mario Mancini. He was one of the guys that influenced and showed me the real side of how it was really in the 80s. But you look at all the different guys I trained under in tutelage, and that's why my answer is, for years it was Mario Tony Altamori, because that was the real deal. But moving on and forward from there after that brief quest, a tryout time in 84, you look at all the knowledge and people have tapped into in different schools, in the House of Pain dojo with Jason Knight, and there's too many schools and trainers to mention at this point, not to mention the 660-pound bench press of the legendary strongman Kenny Fontano, or the martial arts expert, especially from the state behind the walls, Randy Roach. I mean, I go on and on with the training, and I feel like I've had vast training from many different people over several centuries and still learning. But back to the task at hand and the memorabilia. This was a great show, and I don't even have the date on this. You see it, the head shrinkers, Samu and L.A. Smooth, the Samoan Dynasty, unbelievable. The Moondogs 2000, and all the different people that were on there. I believe this was ISPW. You look at the different folks that were on the show, different people. I mean, it really was a sight to behold. There was a lot of different things when you talk about the territories. Good stuff. It doesn't get any better than that. I have to tell you, it really doesn't. So I appreciate all the different things on here. And of course, we all know the Legendary Tours and who I was working for as one of several companies back then. Slam Jam 99 with Sid, the Bushwhackers, Bruno, the Giant, Primo Carnera, Slam Jam 99 for the North American Wrestling Alliance. That night at the Westchester County Civic Center, I was with Tough Tony DeVito from the Baldies and from the World Wrestling Federation, Tony, against the Jackmaster, John Diamond, ECW Steel Team, tryouts many times with the camp, tag team with Brian Lee, one of the most famous guys to probably never make it, and the different people that night and the different people on the card. It was an incredible night that night. If you look at all the different people, it was a battle royal, Doink the Clown, one of many, Tony and John, myself, Missy Hyatt, Kimono Wanalea, all the different people that were there that night. It really was an unbelievable show. I have it on video. It's all out there. Really, really was some incredible stuff looking back on it. And if you can see, I don't know if this is upside down, right side up. Do I have it even on the right side? Some real good stuff. I think I do. I don't know. Like Bob Euchre said, the hell with all of it. Just wanted to show you guys there some good stuff. What else do we have here? Show number 20, Chaos Corner. All kinds of different things that I want to bring to the fans. A lot of this stuff is just stuff that's read. I'd rather show you visual. Here is another show that goes back into the 90s when I was working for the NWA territories on this particular show, the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan, Mr. NWA, Jim Cornette, the Boston Bad Boy, Tony Rumble, also taught me a lot in this business. I couldn't thank him enough. God rest his soul. A lot of the NWA superstars. This was a live night. This was a night that I had a chance to really talk to Sullivan and Cornette. It really was one of my appearances to begin with in the I want to say in the later 90s with the NWA. Some great stuff, pro wrestling at the local schools here. They were everywhere at the armories, the Taskmaster, Cornette, Tony Rumble. I mean, this is when it was all over. And you talk about independence. Everyone thinks, WWE, WWE, now AEW. But look at the stuff that was there. Look at the stuff I was involved with and the shows that we worked. We even go back to the days of the old Emporium and in Somerville and Boston and Revere, and it just was an unbelievable hotbed. Eric Suicide Sprasia, Knuckles Nelson, the Boston Bad Boy, the NWA New England Tag Team Champions at that point was the House of Pain. Not Nick and Hakim, the House of Pain back from the NWA. The New England's most popular tag team. Trooper Gilmore, when he was the NWA New England Heavyweight Champion, went under my tutelage, who now owns New England Wrestling Extreme up there in Massachusetts, was the champion at that time on this show. Now, this is back to 1999. The Mercenary with the tag team title at Somerville, Curtis Slam Dog, the teenage prodigy Jeff Mangles, Trey, the smooth operator, who was inducted last year into the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, along with yours truly. So again, Trey, unbelievable, the original OG, baby. The New York Posse, Ron Zombie and Jay Cobain, Alex Arion, I mean, GQ Rodeo, the real deal, Joel Davis. I mean, Jeff Katz, also inducted into the Hall of Fame with yours truly. I mean, some great stuff back there. Not to mention the legendary historian, my old buddy from New England Championship Wrestling, and that would be Sheldon Goldberg. This is what you get here on Chaos Corner with history. It really was unbelievable. What a night. NWA Triple Threat. All the different people. I'll just flash it up there. Throw the photos on the back. The newsletter, you see, there it is. Troop, unbelievable. Sheldon Goldberg was the commissioner. You see King Kong Bundy. Sheldon's a great guy. You've seen him on AEW, wrestling historian. Of course, God rest his soul, former ally turned friend, family, God rest his soul, Chris, King Kong Bundy. And this is where I managed Trooper, again, under my tutelage, NWA New England champion, who now runs his own company, my good buddy Jimmy Allen. I hope you see this, Troop. What an article. Yeah, Mansfield, Massachusetts is where Trooper Gilmore shocked the wrestling world when he upset Curtis Slam Dog to capture the NWA New England Heavyweight Championship. So I hope whoever sees this and knows Jimmy, boy, it was something. Just as his win last Friday shocked fans and wrestlers alike, perhaps Trooper Gilmore will surprise us all with a long reign as New England champ. You see it here on NWA New England Pro Wrestling Powerline Triple Threat Thursday. Good Time Emporium at Somerville. Law and Order. Trooper Gilmore is the new NWA New England champion. How about that, Troop? Your boy, I got the pictures around here somewhere with the title in the locker room. Somebody get this to him. Tell him he's got it on there. You made it, Troop. You're on Chaos Corner. That means you got the rub, baby. I can't believe it. Even back to the disaster with Jimmy Snuka and the White Invader, Fuerza de Caballalo, the Mighty Midgets, Rex Lethal, Noodles Nixon. We walked out that day. Trooper was on this show. Kid USA. Zombie was the champion. I'll never forget this with Snuka there that night. We boycotted, took down the ring. This is 98 and walked out. We even did a lot of club style. We did a lot of stuff in Bridgeport. The old, with that fat slob, J.C. Biggs. I like to punch him in the face if I seen him now. That's not a threat. I like him to work, baby. The old UWA, if anybody remembers the Universal Wrestling Alliance. We're really going back. Again, the shows that I was proud to be a part of with the NWA, King Kong Bundy, the Public Enemy, Jim Cornette, the Boston Brotherhood, the Boston Bad Boy. Some great stuff that the fans brought and that I happen to have here. Some really good stuff from the NWA back in the territory days. This wasn't that long ago. Here's another, I did a lot of these that what you would call now conventions. A lot of people have conventions, Comic-Cons, wrestling conventions, all different things, StarCast, whatever it is. I did that stuff back in the 90s. Here's one with ECW superstar, the sexiest man alive from the Impact Players. Another guy who helped me a lot with ring psychology and things in the ring, even into my 30s, late 30s, and that would be Jason fucking Knight. Again, the Power Company, Dean and Dave, again, very solid professionals. Also, the Hardcore Hippie, Felicity Flowers. And, of course, you know, Nick was in the WWE for a couple of years. WBLQ Radio, Hot Rod, Babyface. And, you know, we signed this, and a fan brought this to me. This was on their first show. This has got to be 99 or 98. You see me here with the AWA World Heavyweight title. And then we'll take a look at it and all the different signatures on here. Even the House of Pain on here. Again, not Nick and Hot Cam from PAPW and the NAWA and from New England World Extreme Championships. Good stuff. Here's Jason. He was very influential in this area, Jason. I love Jason Knight. Taught me a lot. As you can see, there's the Power Company. Nick and Felicity. Again, fans, this is old stuff, 20 and 30 years old. There is the G.O.C., the manager to the Stars. That picture was taken out in Las Vegas, I believe. Maybe on the Colorado River. That weekend, that whole run out there with the World Wrestling Zone and the AWA Superstars, they really treated me like gold. And there's those two jabronis that we slapped the shit out of with Kevin Landry. A lot of fun up there on the beach in Rhode Island in certain areas and being on the radio. We had a long run with these guys, probably for a couple of years. So, again, good stuff. I love memorabilia. I could do this all day. All the different things that we have here. I don't want to get too crazy. We're 45 minutes in. It's not bad. I'll keep it under an hour, but this is why I came back so quick from show 19 to show 20, because I wanted to get this and put all this stuff out there because I got a lot of quick feedback. We got a bunch of views overnight, and people enjoy this. Another great show that I happen to be a part of not that long ago, 2007. The fans have sent me in the flyers. Jerry the King Lawler, Jonathan Coachman, Chris Jericho, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Joey Mercury. I've shown some of these. The Outcast Killers, Zombie, Velvet Sky, Romeo Rosselli, myself, obviously. Great shows. I think I've shown these before, but I'm going to show some of these flyers. You see Jericho and Samoa Joe and Lawler and Coachman and AJ and Jericho. I mean, just some good stuff. I'm on there. Never in the main headlights, but I'm on there somewhere if you're snapping these pictures. I mean, it's nice to see your name. Good stuff. I think I showed some of this. We'll get on to some of, not only are these flyers, these are the actual programs that my daughter has saved. She was a teenager at the time, and a lot of times, 8, 9, 10 years old. She's 30 years old now, and some of the stuff right at the end of my career. Here's another great one where the main event was Kurt Angle and Christian Cage with Joe on the show, Samoa Joe, Kurt Adonis, Xavier, Jay Lethal, Romeo Rosselli of the Heartthrobs, Velvet Sky, Zombie. Another great show. Again, you see Christian and Kurt Angle. And just to be exact of where I was on this show, here's Romeo was with Velvet when she was Talia. What a good-looking gal, huh? I mean, she really was hot to trot there. It's a beautiful, beautiful picture. And boy, did she do good things and big things in TNA and Impact, and now married to Bully Ray. One lucky man and one great lady. A lot of class, a lot of respect. And, of course, my good friend Romeo did big things. A personal trainer. He still looks like that today. Inducted with myself, the Heartthrobs in 2019 New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. Very proud of that. And another guy under my tutelage, we worked Abyss, we worked Zombie, worked everyone. Jerry the King Lawler, bled many, many times together. The Maniac, Michael Sane. Michael was no one to be trifled with. That is for sure. Michael Sane. If you can see my big jib in all these pictures, Michael was a badass. He fought all the big men. Slaughter was on this show also. Another great event. Here it says, the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy, is the self-proclaimed manager of the year. It's been difficult to argue with his accomplishments. He has been a manager of champions and has found himself in the main event of many shows, competing against the likes of the Dudley Boys, Team 3D, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Jerry the King Lawler, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Rikishi, and a whole lot more. Big Daddy has become quite adamant the last few weeks about proving his point. He is a manager of champions and is looking to make an impact. Rumors have been flying that he has a surprise for Kurt Adonis. One thing is for sure, he's already gotten into the head of Purdy Curdy, turning him against the town he grew up in. Bristol is full of losers, as is ESPN, and I'm a winner. And I'll be the star of the show tonight, and I'll be on Monday Night Raw. And it goes on to say how Kurt, as the local star, proud to reside in this town, and until Big Daddy got into his car today, and we had a whole thing. He feels like he deserves better, and tonight he's disgusted. This was the write-up. It was a great write-up. I'll show you, fans, if you can check it out. A big show, big stars. Kurt Angle, Christian Cage for the world title. Doesn't get bigger than that. Samoa Joe. I mean, Jay Lethal. Come on, guys. The Heartthrobs. Velvet Sky. Again, what I talk about being in the locker rooms with these folks, even as I was older, passing on knowledge, still learning knowledge. So it's nice. This is back when you actually had programs. This is how professional organizations do it, and some of the promoters I've worked for over the years. Professional programs, you write up the story, you add to the psychology, you have the fans coming back for more, you give them a lineup card, you tell them what's on there instead of how they do it today. This is how you do it. And again, of course, well, he's got one hell of a smile, and he inducted me into the Hall of Fame. I appreciate it. So it's nice to get the full page, back when times were good, man. Another excellent event. Let me see. This not that long ago, 2007. This was the OCK and the G.O.C. against the Dudleys. Lawler went up against Coachman that night. Abyss against Tony DeVito under my tutelage. Xavier and Josh Daniels. Black Machismo, Jay Lethal, against Romeo Rosselli with Velvet. In the six-man tag team match, it was Cheech and Cloudy with Hale Collins against King Brian Anthony. WCW fame Mikey Batts, Billy Kidman's cousin, and, of course, Kurt, who I was with and against. And, of course, you know who else was there? Y2J, Le Champion, Chris Jericho. This is 2007 in New York. Some nice photos. I'll pass them along to you fans. Recently passed, Ring of Honor champion, Northeast champion, Juan Xavier. I know it says Romeo Rosselli on there, but there's John. Beautiful photo. God rest his soul. Great family. Miss you, brother. You see his name is Xavier, and there's Romeo and Talia before she was Velvet. What else do we have here? There they are. Oh, boy. Double main event. Team 3D, man, for the NWA Tag Team Championship. Who did they face that night? Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot. On our nice run. Beautiful pictures against the OCK and the Guardian of Chaos. And if you're not taking this photo, I don't know what you're doing. Brings back chills and a lot of pain. And a lot of pain and agony. So I'm glad that a lot of the fans kept this. And some of this is from my own personal collection of Chaos Chronicles. Another big event. AJ Styles, Xavier, and Jay Lethal three-way dance for the heavyweight title. Here's our continue our run with Team 3D against the Outcast Killers. Sergeant Slaughter against Michael Sane, as also with Michael. Antonio Thomas from the Heartthrobs against Josh Daniels. The Now, Hale Collins and Vic Delicious against Mikey Batts and Sexy Jeff Starr. Nikki Rocks and Ariel. Zombie, friends, now foes, foes, now friends, now family. I love them. New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer against the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer Kurt Adonis. And also third-generation grappler, also in the Hall of Fame for Joe Bruin's New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. The Rocket Fred Curry against Shane Valentine. Another unbelievable lineup here, fans. I'll show it to you. The programs, this is what it's all about. Being able to hold on to the ticket stubs, the programs, like back to the days of the Madison Square Garden, Boston Garden, Toronto Leaf Gardens, Hartford Civic Center, the old New Haven Coliseum, New Haven Arena. That's what it's all about. The memorabilia, the memories, that's what it's all about. They can never take it away. Contract. This is proof in the pudding, and this is what I love. This is what I love, giving back. being able to learn. And again, I'm so appreciative and humble. And thanks for being here. We're coming up on almost 55 minutes. Show number 20, back-to-back days. I had to because I was so invigorated by this. Here's the actual lineup card, if you can read it. You know, I'll try to go slow. A lot of these shows were in Connecticut in the Northeast area. A lot of them were out of the state. Different shows from different areas. A lot of the fans may have even attended this. I'll bet you people like the Professor Rick Del Santo from PWZ, Pro Wrestle Zone. I'll bet you he was at a lot of these different shows. I'll bet you that he was. He's one of the local historians here because people don't realize that we are right in the shadows of Titan Towers, right down the streets from Titan Towers. And this is considered the Northeast tri-state New England area, whatever you want to call it. The whole area of the Northeast is a hotbed of professional wrestling dating back to the 30s and the explosion of the 50s into the 60s and selling out the Garden throughout the 70s and all those sellouts into the 80s and the explosion. It's all right here in this area. And why do you think the headquarters has been Titan Towers, Titan Sports, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right here in the Constitution State, the Nutmeg State, if you will. It's overrated living here. Believe me, I got to jerk off the dog to feed the cat. I mean, I'm broke. Trust me. I get it. I understand. Xavier was the champion for quite a while. What an incredible talent. Sergeant Slaughter, Jay Lethal, Team 3D, AJ Styles. Just to throw you some pictures. There's the Sarge. He was in great shape. We did a lot of work together. He was G.I. Joe here. Again, I said it in the last episode. He choked me out one time and for Tom Jeanette's Northeast Wrestling, not confused with Lombardi, O'Brien, and that Northeast, the original Northeast. Tom Jeanette. Here's Jay. Had a lot of good interactions with Jay Lethal. Called a lot of his matches. Great guy. Unbelievable talent. There it is, my foes. Team 3D. There's AJ. Did a lot of work, a lot of shows. Look at how young he was compared to the star. He paid his dues, long time. Got to give AJ Styles a lot of credit. Incredible talent. He stuck with it. Stayed true to himself. The different things that are on here. On close-up angle here on show number 20 of the G.O.C. Some good stuff. Here was another one. This was in the same series with the same group. Tommy Dreamer was on this show. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Worked with Dreamer several times. I've said it a bunch of times as I'm looking through it. Christian Cage against the Monster Abyss. Lawler against the Heartthrob Romeo with Talia. Dreamer and DeVito. Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Woodman against Ricky Landell with yours truly. That's right, third cousin from second brother of Buddy Landell. Hacksaw with the local DJ in New York, the Woodman, who hit me with a cattle prod, and Duggan hit me with the 2x4 that night. Now, Chris Sabin against Xavier. Sex and Violence, another one of my tag teams. Jeff Starr and Dave Danger against the Now. Hale Collins and Vic Delicious. And boy, they were one tough bastard, the Now, that tag team. They were a thorn in my side for quite some time. Cheech and Cloudy against the OCK, the Outcast Killers. I came out 2 or 3 times this night with my stable. Josh Daniels and Damian Adams. One hell of a trainer. He's got a school in New Jersey. Fans, if you've learned from Damian Adams or you know anything about Damian, one hell of a grappler, very well qualified, well versed, and he's pumping out talent. A guy I respect, who I ran with 25 years ago, an incredible talent. If you can get to his school, you're doing big things. So this was an incredible card right here out of New York. I'll show you the lineup card, fans. You can see the names. I'll try to go slow. I believe I did double and triple duty that night. Was only scheduled to do an in-ring and then hook up with Landell's cousin against Hacksaw and the Woodman. I ended up beating his ass in the dressing room anyway. It's a work, baby. What a card, though. Look at the stars. Again, it brings chills if you're not taking pictures of this. Unbelievable card. Let's see if I can grab some photos out of this. These programs are priceless. They're almost in... Could you imagine what you can get for this? I said it in show 19, all the virtual signings and autographs and selling of memorabilia and the different things that are on there. This stuff, I would never get rid of it, but boy, I'll tell you, I have a lot of interesting things here. One hell of a night that night. And again, I won't forget the cattle prod. I'll certainly say that. The rest of it, there's some other photos I found in there. There's the King. The Heartthrob. Johnny's always looking good. Christian when he was the NWA champion. Good man. It was always good to me. There's Abyss, another guy, Chris. We took a photo without the mask at that time years ago. He said, don't ever show that picture, but he's revealed himself as Chris, Joe Park, whatever, 1,000 times over. What a great guy, and we bled together a couple of times, man. Abyss doesn't get much better than a lot of these shows. We have a lot more stuff. It was an incredible event that I was lucky to be a part of. We're coming up on almost an hour, and I still have so many more things. Fans, I may pump out another third show, whether it be 21 or after this show, number 20, about different memorabilia, because there is so much. Here's one from 04, Renegades Rampage, and I'll end it on this show. Show number 20. I can't thank you enough for being here. We're coming up on an hour. We'll go a little bit over an hour. But this was another show, one of the times that I walked away and afterwards and led into different pay-per-views and even the Heroes of Wrestling, which thank God I wasn't involved with, but I was in the video package, the legendary, perhaps the worst wrestling pay-per-view of all, they said, the Heroes of Wrestling. Do your research. Renegade Rampage, October of 2004. The Mighty Midgets were on here. Mick Foley, Jerry King Lawler, The American Dream Dusty Rhodes, King Kong Bundy, Sergeant Slaughter, D'Lo Brown, Chris Candida, Al Snow, Kamala the Ugandan Giant. Outdoor event. Unbelievable. I'll show you some of the photos. I worked with Slaughter and Bundy on this show, Kamala and Dusty. The stuff that I learned in the dressing room, being able to pick their brains and talk to them. I'm going to show you this album and this program, one of my favorite shows of all time, along with working with some of the other bigger stars. This could be one of the big ones. It really was something. Let me show you some photos out of here. Hopefully we'll be able to get them on here. I know it's a pain in the ass. We're still working on the camera. Mick, a nice little article on Mick Foley that night. Of course, Jerry the King Lawler. Just a star-stacked, studded event. There he is. Man, did I pick his brain and to be able to talk with him per our many conversations that we had on the phone from Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling when he was down there in Georgia. Thank you so much, Dusty. Rest in peace, bro. I can't appreciate it enough and the impact in our interactions. And again, it wasn't a lot, but it was enough for me to have an impact the dozen or so times. And again, this show made it all worth it, just like my career. Made it all worth it, fans. I got to be honest. I know I'm a little close. I'll scare the rats off cheesecake, make onions cry. I get it. I get it. Show number 20. What else do we have here? Let's get to the other side. Bundy, again, I actually have that picture of him stepping on Hogan. He autographed it as a work and gave it to one of the paramours that I had at one time, if you know what I mean. I don't want to say rats. Kamala, God rest his soul. Again, I had a chance to work with him and talk. Great guy, humble. All the stories about him are true. Unbelievable guy. Bundy and Kamala. Slaughter, worked with all three of those, right? I mean, it's just, you look at it and you realize a part of it and you have some of the stuff and you just are so thankful and blessed and fortunate and humble to be a part of something small and to have lived your own dream, to at least to have tried. I couldn't be more humbled, blessed, and honored by all of this. And again, fans, show number 20, live to tape, same-day coverage. I'm going to put it up right now. I have a lot going on. Again, you have Impact on Access tonight and the whole tie between AEW, Omega, and Don Callis, who knows what's going to happen, plus the unbelievable roster of Impact. AEW Dark is on tonight on YouTube, which will lead into the storylines of the big night tomorrow night with AEW Dynamite and NXT, which is coming out of War Games and TakeOver, which was really not a bad event. I said it yesterday, a solid 7 in my opinion. A lot of interesting things came out of it, so War Games was decent. So that's what you have leading into the next few days. Not worth mentioning Monday Night Raw last night. I really don't watch the product, and I'll run through it, but it is what it is. Stay here. Stay tuned. I will be back. We're going to do another memorabilia. Listen, look, are you looking? This is just the tip of the iceberg of what we're going to cover here on Chaos Corner. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. Follow me on Rumble, Parler, Gab, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit me up, send in the questions, leave your comments, keep it positive, okay? I am the guardian of chaos. I do tell it like it is. I'll say that to say this. Show number 20 live to tape. Thanks for being here. Don't you dare miss it.